Hi and welcome to this video about Kemp technologies. Today I want to show you how to publish the Windows containers with the Kemp LoadMaster load balancer. My name is Silvio Di Benedetto. I'm CEO for Insight Technologies. I'm training and consultant for the private public cloud system center virtualization, backup, much more. I'm Microsoft MVP for cloud data center management and I'm also Vim Vanguard and Five Night Technical Evangelist. Before starting, I want to remind you that this is a session based on a preview version, so many of the argument could be changed during the next release of Windows Server. So, what is a Windows Server Containers? Windows Server Containers is a new feature on Windows Server 2016 and is a new way to manage and deploy object. Is like a sandbox. So is like a VM without the VM complexity. What I mean is very simple. When we need to publish a website, sometimes we need a new virtual machine running Windows Server 2012 2 with IIS. And what we must do is create a new virtual machine and dedicate and allocate resources like CPU, RAM, or disk. So there are many objects to allocate for a single virtual machine. With the containers, we don't need to allocate specific resources. We can do this with the Docker, and maybe in the future we can do the same with the Windows container, but the idea is create many small sandbox, many small box were put inside them applications, services, website, and many other objects with a small footprint. So and without generate too many effort for the creation, for the management, and maybe for the upgrade of single resources. The model is very simple. With the TP4, the Technical Preview 4, we have two different model. The first one is the classic, the Windows Server Containers, and is similar like the Hyper-V container. The difference is the sharing of some resources. For example, if you run get the PowerShell command let get process on a Windows Server host, the server host container is the main server where each single containers running on. So when you run the command let get process on the host container, you can see all the process also in the Windows Server containers. But when you use the model Hyper-V containers, the process are limited, are not showed into the host container. So there is a layer abstraction between the host container and the container. Is required the TP4 because the Hyper-V container use the Hyper-V nested virtualization. So it is a requirement because there is a nested virtualization between two different virtual machines. What you can do and you can't do with the containers. For example, you can run an IIS, Apache, NJX, PHP, and ASP.NET version 5. You can use MySQL, MongoDB, SQLite, or for example, you can use FileZilla for a FTP server. You can run also Minecraft server, but you can it is also possible deploy some Windows rules, for example, the file server or the VPN or the storage replica, because you can use one of these containers to share the content between many other containers. So you can create a line of business model with 3, 4, 5 containers and use one of these as the main content, for example, for the document or for the repository for some logs or for the main database. It doesn't matter. The question is, the container is not only a repository for an application or service, but you can also deploy some Windows rules. In this moment, what you can do is use ASP.NET version 4 or less. SQL Server is too complicated. Is not possible right now deploy SQL Server on a container. And some rules like Hyper-V, Active Directory, WSUS, and more. So you can see all the available roles and all the application that you can use on the link in the bottom of the slide. Let me introduce now Kemp LoadMaster. What is Kemp? Kemp is a load balancer. Could be physical or virtual, running on many kind of hypervisor. Hyper-V is one of these. You can use the appliance on your on-premises environment to publish services. Is like is an application delivery control, so you can publish website, you can publish many other services, you can use NAT, you can deploy, as you can see from the slide, Exchange, Skype for Business, SharePoint, remote desktop services, website. It doesn't matter. You can publish all the services without problem, and you can use the same appliance also on Microsoft Azure. You can open the marketplace on Azure and create a virtual machine with the Kemp LoadMaster to publish your IaaS environment. For example, if you have a complex environment on Azure running on a IaaS model, you can use the Kemp LoadMaster to publish those services. So, and the question is, use the same knowledge, use the same user interface to publish the services. So I don't need to learn a new skill or a new knowledge or a new application to publish my services on Azure. Is the same thing. Okay, it's time for a demo when I will show you how to publish the containers with the Kemp LoadMaster. This is my environment with a virtual machine running Windows Server 2016 TP4 with the container host role enabled. So what I want to show you are some commandlets. For example, the first one is get container. With get container, I can see all of my container. In this moment, in this machine, I have only 3 containers. The first one is a website. The other 2 are the custom application. So I created an application. The containers can be created with a template, and the template is calling container image. This image are some like the model for the future deployment. For example, if I need to deploy a website, what I can do is create a custom template, custom container, install IIS, deploy the files for the website, close the image, and save as a template. So when I need to create a new website, for example, the web 02, I can just use the container image called IT website HTML, and all of the files are already present, and the same for the roles. So it's very easy to deploy new images when I use template. In this moment, the web containers is up and running, and I can see the result into web page. On my Kemp, this is the web console of Kemp LoadMaster. I create a new services. The services is the role to publish something called WS 2016 containers. This is the IP address of the host container, because in the default configuration the containers running under a NAT configuration. So for example, I want to open container name, okay. In this moment I'm inside the container. What I can do is an IP config, and this is my internal IP address. If I open the PowerShell exe and I'm running ipconfig, I can see the IP address of the containers. The main is this one, and the other IP address is this, because is the NAT IP address. So it's an isolated mode, is a sandbox, is running on a different environment, different resource, a different layer, and different IP address. So is perfect for the security. From the Kemp side, I need to configure a rule for the container host and for the specific port, because if I need to expose many websites, I cannot use always every time the same port as normal, because the port 80 in 80 is already used for one container. I cannot duplicate the port, so I can use a custom port, because the Kemp can manage the NAT interface. So as you can see, here I don't use the NAT port. I use the classic HTTP port, but inside the containers I use another kind of management. So this is perfect for the security. In this moment I have only one containers, and the idea is create another one container, because I want increase the scalability, I want to increase the performance, I want to create a redundancy between my containers. So I created these containers. This script on PowerShell is an advanced script to create a new containers and with all the single configuration for the firewall, for the NAT. So I want to show you. Okay, first of all, I need to select my templates. The second one, I need to insert a name, is web02. Oops, there's a little error. Okay, it's not a really error. Okay, I'm starting from the beginning. I inserted the container port, is port 18, and the NAT port. A NAT port must be different from the other. So this is my NAT port because the 800 is already used. So what the script does is create a new container using the template called IT website HTML, and I set the NAT configuration into the host containers and create a firewall rule in the same host container to publish a new website. So this is my IP address. This is my NAT container, and this is the message. The container web02 is created with the IP .3 with the NAT 801. Okay. Now inside the Kemp portal, I can add a new real server. What is a real server? Is the server that publish a resource. So I need to insert my host IP address and new NAT rule. Okay. Now, to test if the redundancy is work, I need to stop one of my containers, and the command let is stop containers, name web01. Creation, starting, shutdown are very faster because containers are very small. The footprint is near to zero, so it's very easy create, manage, deploy, destroy the containers into environment. Okay, now I want to test my website, and it works. It works. I can refresh the page without problem, and I can see the result into my browser because I use the redundancy between two different containers, and I use the Kemp to balance the traffic. If I go inside the internal console, I can see now a red line. When there is a red line, there is a problem with the communication between the Kemp and the real server. Okay, so if I go here and start again the containers, try to refresh the page. It's not already available, but in few minutes, in few seconds, it will be available again, and I can use it to publish some services. So this is the way to create and manage containers and to publish the website with the Kemp LoadMaster. Is very easy. If you want to deploy and if you are interested to use my script, you can find a couple of scripts on TechNet Gallery, searching Advanced Management Windows Server 2016 containers. You can download it. There are 3 different scripts to generate, start, and remove containers with the NAT configuration. So thank you for watching the video and see you soon. Bye.